Me, na Aminata Finamasakoy, the station manager for Culture Radio. Adenaya today for talk about the International Day of Peace, where na September 21 every year. And the international theme for this year, 2022, na Stop Racism and Build Peace. But for Salon, we domesticate them for look at real issues them as Sierra Leoneans them. And we know say violence now one thing we don't begin to show face now we country. And so for this year International Day of Peace, we dey say stop election violence and build peace. And then today with one big alejo, we go just introduce himself to we properly.
Family Nadu. My name is Samura Kamara. I am the presidential candidate for the All People's Congress Party for 2018 general and presidential election. And me, I also the aspire for being the presidential candidate for the APC for 2023 election.
So, Doc, we talk about the International Day of Peace, where the UN will don't declare all over the world. People, talk about peace this particular time. And looking at the way issues that don't happen around violence, and we will work towards 2023 elections. So, what's going to be your message of peace to Sierra Leoneans in general?
Anessa, thank you. I also want to take the opportunity for say thank you to Culture Radio for providing me this opportunity for talk to the people of Sierra Leone. Today, now the last day of phase 1 of voter registration in this country. At the beginning of this voter registration, I've been talked to Famula, I've been talked to Ina, Uchifodu. Today, I can't talk about the next phase, the lessons we observe during phase 1, or for phase 2. But the good thing will happen to we now that in this month, during this registration process, we get 2 important international days. The first one, last Thursday, we celebrate the International Day Democracy. We all know what democracy means. All man forget the freedom. All man forget the right for choosing leader, for vote who they want. For work within the rule of law. You need peace, you need movement, free movement of persons. Then, on Wednesday, when they come, the 21st of this month, we also celebrate what they call International Day of Peace. Then 2 concepts there also, peace and democracy. They're very important for Sierra Leone and Netta. And now, we begin to show how Sierra Leone ready for implement them 2 concepts there. Because we did in the process, we don't start for now appoint a new leader for this country come June 24, 2023. And we need peace, we need democracy. And this is for start the 10 way we do registration. And I want to put the emphasis squarely on Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, headed by Mr. Mohamed Kore. When they say democracy, almost forget rights. Forget right for vote, get for right for register. Not a favor if you do anybody. For make sure say anybody who eligible for register for vote is for register. It no matter outside the person there. Therefore, nobody no tell you say forget target for the number of people who for register and the number of registration centers that we for vote. The rule is for be anybody who eligible. Whether eligible as of today or eligible for vote as of June 24, 2023, if you register, it no matter which side it is. So do ya, I want to urge you. We can't talk just now about the experience we happened during phase 1. Don't repeat the mistakes then again.
All right. It's good that you don't really define democracy. I like the catch because putting all two together, they show the importance of democracy and peace. So now we see with young people learn, and we know exactly what happened just 1 month or so ago, a few weeks ago, and we work towards elections next year. And we don't begin to see some semblance of violence, which of course we lives.
Yes.
And as a leader, what will you say to 10 people here? It can be politicians, it can be business people, it can be the youth, it can be everybody, every Sierra Leonean. Waiting for people conduct as far as violence is concerned for maintaining peace during elections?
Madam, my own rule, my rule book, is that violence not good for any country. Sierra will not come up an 11-year war. We see what happened to me. Do you allow no go back by 11-year war? We don't see a number of incidents that will happen where people then die, where they intimidate people, they arrest people, they lock them up without justification, without taking them to court. And then they are all be lead to the 11-year war. Let us not go back to the issues they are seeing. So violence, Natiwa, I condemn. I condemn and totally. Intimidation, I condemn and totally. For arrest person without justification, I condemn and totally. Everybody get freedom for do what you want to do within the law. But we as a leader now for show the example that we observe the rule of law. We allow the courts them for do their own job. We allow the police for do their own job. So not only leadership for begin to control the institutions they have so. So I promise everybody in this country, me, Samura Kamara, president of this country, Sierra Leone, I'm not going to encourage any of them things in this. Now the responsibility for listening to people there, for hearing them concerns them, for talk to them, engage them. Then for the opportunity for talk to me, just like I said, for the opportunity for talk to them. Now two-way business. Not only because you criticize me, therefore you don't cost me. No. Nobody will be open up for arrest. Nobody will open up for arrest. It's not possible. So I want to let people know this from the beginning. That new presidency, now presidency for peace, where they provide democracy and development.
All right, Doc, this is a very good message, and I hope we Sierra Leoneans them, they listen very well, because Kuskas no go bring developments come now we beloved country. And to the youth there specifically, I want to talk to them. Should they go violent? Because I believe you can still vote for your leader without being violent.
Yes. I think youth them get a very important role for playing in any society. More particularly Sierra Leone, where almost half of the population very youthful, like young people there, young girl and young boy there. And when you're a leader in a country, you not from run away from them people there also. Tradition will be they say the future of a country rests on the youth. Today, the present it rests on the youth. The future it rests on the youth. We want not to youth now for work for the youth then. Let's build a better future for them. Don't forget this idea of living by the day. As they live by the day, we solve the problems of the day, we also fulfill the future for youth them. So I want to appeal to the youth them. Let nobody not convince you for commander treats, for go cause kuskas, for go cause, for go stone people them. Now for show maturity. So that when you go become a leader, you know what you for do. So I dey appeal to all them, they all stay peaceful. You can go, you go register, you go vote, you go back my house quietly. Choice, now you get am. You choice, now we enter the polling booth, now they go vote. I don't say some people that if you don't like Samura Kamara said, I don't say as she enter that polling booth today, as you see me face no more, because it's not peaceful, my lab vote for her. Hey, go vote for me. It will happen, Mark.
All right, Dr. Samura Kamara, my name, and they aspire for be president in this country. Get for take side, I get for step aside, and my colleague will come and take Doc through the rest of the interviews. Me, again, Aminata Afina-Massaquoi, the station manager for Culture Radio. I want for you continue for follow the trend. We will continue for preach peace and make sure say we go through the elections peacefully and everybody enjoy rights we is supposed to enjoy as Sierra Leonean.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course, me, I'm Raymond Baikam, of course, Banka Putu Jr. I work for Culture Radio and I also serve as the proprietor for the independent newspaper. It's a pleasure to have you on me, sir.
It's a pleasure too, I'm humble.
All right, sir. The first question I want to ask you, sir, the phase 1 of the ongoing registration ends today. And me, now I'm proud Sierra Leonean, we don't register and I know that no problem doing registration process. But this phase 1 will end. I don't know what can you take with regards to this phase 1 or what will be like a message for the Electoral Commission boss, Dr. Connie.
Congratulations, my brother, you don't register. Peacefully, myself, I register peacefully. But I'm sure Boku people that they struggle for register. Yes, now to say today na the last day of phase 1. Now 2 types of people that will register. First, the one the way they don't register before when a voters they get a voter ID card, they don't register in Accra. And for just for can reconfirm no more the registration. Then the other one, now the one they will not ever register na the first time is whether na big man who feel say not be register at all now they can register, or na young girl and young boy wey dey go school wey don comot school wey sometimes e no reach 18 yet, but by the time wey dey go for election June 24, 2023 we will reach the age for vote. So when these 2 times, all what we will say is that the responsibility of NEC, or we call it now ECSL, that the responsibility for make sure that 2 people there they register without intimidation, without delay. What did happen during phase 1? You brother yourself know. You're not a journalist. You just will encounter a lot of problems, difficulties. First and foremost, but people don't know who side the center they need for go register. Whether on a phase 2 center or a phase 1 register, will not be able to get that good information there. We go say this is the polling center, we go see them mark them for phase 2 or phase 1. So a lot of confusion will happen on the first day. When you succeed for those side, you register, you meet a long queue, the machine not dey work. Electricity not dey, the machine dey work. Then they delay, then the way they register, they're slow. Even infrastructure, I did mention that before statement, where I registered that, I don't be happy with even the table there, the chair there, when they get people to register. And the way they describe now the picture, how the registration center for be, not to so it be by the registration centers then. Because ECSL being give a manual, and they get picture they would show how the registration center for be. If I be smooth, if I be open, all man foresee. But we allow Boku people then, we don't get business by registration for also daily for make confusion, for set confusion. Before you get up, they say that they arrest us in intimidation. Or, how do they call am? It's not right. That is not right. But, ECSL tell me say, they don't try for resolve most of their problems they have. So, the problems of the machine, problems of the light, the problems of staff, the capacity of staff for operate even the computers. I know learning difficulties here repeat for phase 2. And at the repeater, NEC, ECSL, no get no target, nobody know you target. Say every center na this number of people dem for register per day. No. For as long as people dem willing, dem go and they're eligible, I think for allow them for register. And now, if anything, they show you one form. It is not a manual form, and they show like this. They call them Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, Form B. This Form B, or then all man insist, ask for this Form B. It say, claim to be registered as a voter or appeal form. Every voter, by right, he fulfill this form. Also, when I see this Form B, and I want all the agents let them look at this form. If they like ECSL the manual. Also the printer more, it not the manual. If any problem there, now this form we will use for appeal as well. But I must say ECSL a democratic institution. They're not going to stop anybody who get right for register.
Yes, Adjo. Let me thank you for that submission. Now we reflect back inside 2018. You are one of the candidates for the All People's Congress, and there are a lot of other candidates that will show up. Some will go for a witness relationship with them particular colleagues in the ahead of the 2023 elections, because many tensions there all over the country. And taking into cognizance, from the 11-year-old war, we don't fight blood Benongo, 1992, blood Benongo, August, all of those things, life will continue for us. We need leaders who will unify Sierra Leone. What it will be like your message to some of your colleague politicians then, your message to Sierra Leoneans then, for unify Sierra Leone, for a better footing ahead of the elections come June 24, 2023, sir.
My brother, there is nothing good for a country than national cohesion, national unity, national identity. There is nothing better than that. On top of that, democracy and peace. If you get them wired, you don't open the way for the development of a country. Because now this will allow foreigners and for invest. Now this will allow even the very Sierra Leonean for be comfortable enough for invest in the country. Yes, democracy is allow competition for space, for position. But I don't mean say una dey go first, una for cause una self, una for go first. Peaceful competition, dialogue, consultation, peaceful coexistence. We are all Sierra Leoneans. This is what defines Sierra Leone. This is what defines everybody. National identity. Who are you? What are you? I'm a Sierra Leonean. So with that identity there, may I continue for talk to everybody, whether it is APCO, it is SLPPO, any political party, it demand for any position or for the president of this country. May I talk to you? I talk to you. Let us be peaceful. Let us get fair, free, peaceful competition. After all, now the people that get for Jews. And I know say, people, all when they look for development, your choice na your own choice. If you make a bad choice, if you don't learn lesson from am and change. If you make a good choice, if you don't learn lesson from am and go ahead with a good choice. So I want to appeal to all the other aspirants there, no matter who say they, let us live like Sierra Leoneans. We need a peaceful Sierra Leone.
Yes, sir. Dr. Samuel Kamara, of course, we also see APC at the moment not choose a flag bearer.
Indeed.
Of course, it's a contract currently end the 21-man team. This is one state we go for cross. What now the confidence will you get for CCA ahead of that particular delegation or elections within the party? You still therefore get confidence or victory for contest. Then if you cross that stage, another stage will wait for you when at the June 24, 2023. What about the confidence for crossing into stage A as a candidate so they don't contest 2018 one of the succeeds, sir?
You know, what in they give confidence that the whole world, whether you believe or you don't believe or your trust in God. With your trust being in God, you can safely go through anything at the world. The confidence level is built on faith in God, that God may give power. Therefore, because I believe in God, I don't say God, they give me the power. God, they give the power through the people there. So the confidence in the people will vote for you, will they support for you, will they run around you, will they run behind you, will they spread the power for you, will they join you by prayers, by ceremonies them. That builds me confidence. And the fact that also I don't serve this country for many, many years. Me na one man who I believe say it will be difficult for me for quick start. We start it for move the country forward. And no need for sit down again for wait. Nobody can begin teach me at school. You don't get experience. I don't get a lot of experience in this country. I don't start in various ministries then. I don't get a lot of feedback. These are the kids sit down, I reflect. I know exactly who side we're supposed to go before we will not be able to do better. The mistakes that we don't make. Mind you, when I talk like this, I reflect as far back as 1960, 61, we get independent to today. Because I've been in this country for a long year, over 40 years. So I can safely tell anybody the challenge they will get. If not the economy, if not for remain as a peaceful citizen, but also within the economy, what we need for doing agriculture, in trade, in managing the budget, even in the executive, what you need for do, what type of executive you need for move this country forward. As I start just now, Sierra Leone will get one problem. Would they live for today? Anything we get now for today, no more you remember. You get that today, you eat it all. Wait man, then they start for telling you, say, for save for the future. You must build the future. So as you don't live for today, also try for live in the future. Build the future. So my confidence level is based on the trust in God, the belief in the people, that the people that they follow you, It believe also on my own experience where I don't get so far in this country.
Finally, before you finish, what will be like your message to Sierra Leoneans? Of course, as we don't end the first phase of the registration, ahead of the second phase, then from one, what's the relationship between you and the former president, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, and also what's the relationship between you, the current president, retired Brigadier Julius Maada-Bio, because we understand, say, we are all in the same denomination, we go to the same church. Then, in your quiet time, what are some of the activities then we can take leisure on? Any final message, sir?
Let's start with relationships. I'm sure if you ask President Bio, he will tell you say Samura na peaceful person because I don't move with am. During difficult times, I manage the country in finances, manage the country, the economy. We work together peacefully. We are brothers. Maybe you na brother yesterday, brother today, and brother till. No line, no day. As far as me concerned, no demarcation, no day. No difference, no day. No difficulty, no day. Yesterday na the same church. Don't pray. I glad it's a go pledge for me. And I say pay the money back say, for build the church. How possible like you now go do the thing and do? We talk now. Yes, we don't get chance for sit down face to face like how many sit down so. But that opportunity arise, we go sit down then. Mr. will tell her, we say I feel so we go wrong. Sometimes you will get time for change, but I know say no get time now. But 2023 they go there and there now. But that don't mean say we don't go exchange ideas. You understand? It's my brother. Of course, President Nkrumah will come off far. Yes, we grow up, we serve institutions them with the worker his brothers. But the day we be president, I respect him as a president. So all those things they happen, if we play all together, we kick each other, I get for respect him. I serve him faithfully. And I think since I will show you everybody that sees Samura Kamara, he served me faithfully. Now I be one day, me not use that said. So I think for the two people, were very important for Sierra Leone. The interaction with them be very, very peaceful and cordial. Very peaceful and cordial. And going forward, I just want to let everybody know. See me, I accommodate everybody. Not supposed to be revenge. Not supposed to be you look somebody no more, you hate them. I don't hate anybody. Because they say you can come close to possibly like you. But the rule book say for live peacefully, you come much closer to your enemy. And so we dey try for the cancer, not get enemies. That me and you dey na opposite sides of politics. Not me say we're enemies, no. We just get different beliefs. But together, we for serve Sierra Leone diligently and make Sierra Leone a better country. That's what we believe. Phase 2. I want for appeal to the people there. Let nobody not discourage you, not for go register. The patience, the resilience, the energy we don't exercise. And I should say this time around, particularly the fact that they get more people there now. And that any country need. When people they come out for that exercise and democratic rights. Not of course, for appreciating people that day. But that's all I want. So I know say Mr. Mohamed Kone, it will provide the opportunity for like everybody who are eligible for register without problem. More so than first time voters and then picking them. It's simple. It's simple. Today at the NSA they get 3 colors there, 3 colors of birth certificates for proof them that they don't reach of age for register. They get yellow color, they get green color, and they get blue color. One color they say yellow, when you go they already accept them. No, NEC no get right for authenticate anybody, not to enroll that one day. If you doubt anybody, ask for documentation. You know, for register people there. No, not deny anybody the right to register. The register to vote. They are big. That's the only way we will make a country better. So I have for appeal to both the officers there, with party agents there, with people there, we all for show consideration for one another, respect for one another. The police already around the area will not allow let them use that for intimidate people. And then they call the light tree. You know, nobody really go down voting center. They see the lighter. What did they go lighter? We allow people there. Them machine them, move side machine they are more. Don't change the machine. One machine and station is not right. Let's increase the number of machines and be big. The Ministry of Finance is supposed to provide enough financing for us to do that one day. And as I say, target no net no for granted we say this might be target where the law set for register. No. Anybody will reach the age for register, it should be made to register. And it's how we in this country. Then they make the country a democratic country. So therefore, tell everybody thanks. We exercise patience, we register. Do phase 1. Do you have for phase 2? Now we not register it. We that's right. Now go register. The distance I know say some of them get for travel, long journey for go register. It is not right. Me I feel say nobody know for travel more than 1 kilometer say for go register. No, but for go travel 5 kilometers, 5 miles, I think for try for make that correction. Let us set an example. Let's build Sierra Leone a democratic state. I make a glad way I've let talk just now. It remind me that this registration period it coincide with 2 important international days: International Day for Democracy and International Day of Peace. That will integrate that way in building Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, Samuel Dr. Samuel Kamara, of course, the 2018 flag bearer for the All People's Congress. Of course, being a Raymond Baikam, of course, Banka Poto Jr. I work for Culture Radio, of course, being the proprietor for the Independent newspaper. Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you very much. Culture Radio, thank you for this opportunity.